My uncle drives a 2019 Silverado, barely 24,000 miles on it. Takes it in for an oil change last spring, and the service guy walks out and tells him his tires need replacing. He laughed, showed him the tread depth on his phone, still had plenty of life left visually. The service guy said it doesn't matter. Showed him a crack running along the sidewall near the base of the tread, then another one, then pointed to where the rubber around the rim was starting to look almost chalky. My uncle spent $900 on 4 new tires that afternoon, on a truck with 24,000 miles. The service guy wasn't scamming him. He was completely right. And what happened to those tires is something nobody explains when you buy them. So that's what this video is. Why the warranty number means nothing. You buy a tire rated for 60,000 miles, and you assume you've got 60,000 miles ahead of you. That's how every other warranty works. Buy a refrigerator with a 10-year warranty, it runs for 10 years. Tires don't work like that, because tires don't only age through use, they age through time. The rubber is deteriorating right now whether you're driving on them or not. Sitting in your garage, parked at the airport for a week, sitting on a warehouse shelf before they even reach the shop, all of that counts. The technical term is oxidative degradation. Oxygen and ozone react with the polymers in the rubber compound continuously. Heat accelerates it faster. The rubber gets harder, less flexible, loses the ability to conform to the road the way it was designed. What that eventually produces is cracks, first microscopic, then visible on the sidewall, then deep enough to compromise the internal structure entirely. Once you're at that stage, the tire can fail without warning, not a slow leak, a structural failure at speed. That process starts the day the tire leaves the mold, not the day you buy it, not the day it goes on the car. The actual number manufacturers won't say out loud. Michelin, Continental, and Bridgestone all say the same thing in their official technical documentation, even though you almost never hear it in a shop. They recommend annual inspections after 5 years from the manufacture date, and they recommend replacing tires at 10 years from manufacture, regardless of tread depth, regardless of how they look, regardless of mileage. 10 calendar years, that's the hard limit. Goodyear is more conservative, they say 6 years. Ford's official owner documentation says 6 years too. Both arrived at that number through internal testing of how their rubber compounds degrade under real conditions. NHTSA looked at tire age data from accident investigations and found that tires 6 years and older were significantly overrepresented in tread separation incidents compared to newer tires with similar mileage. The tread wasn't gone, those tires were just old. My uncle's tires were 5 years old on a low-mileage truck in Phoenix, still had tread, looked fine from a distance, but 5 summers of Arizona heat had done the work that 40,000 miles of normal driving would have done in a cooler climate. Heat is the accelerant. A tire sitting in direct sun in Phoenix or Houston degrades at roughly 2 to 3 times the rate of the same tire in Minnesota. The anti-ozonant chemicals manufacturers add to slow oxidation get depleted faster in extreme heat. Once those are gone, degradation accelerates sharply. The mileage warranty doesn't account for geography, the tread rating doesn't account for it. The thing tire shops are not legally required to tell you. There is no federal law in the United States requiring tire retailers to disclose the age of tires they sell you. None. A shop can sell you a tire that is 6 years old, still in original packaging, never been on a car, and they are under no legal obligation to mention it. You pay full price, it looks new, it has 6 years of rubber degradation already done. This happens with slow-moving inventory, odd sizes that don't sell fast, stock sitting in a back warehouse for a year or two. The box looks identical, the tire looks identical, the price is the same. A 2014 survey by the Rubber Manufacturers Association found that only 11% of drivers knew that tires had an age limit, independent of tread depth. 89% of people are making tire decisions based on incomplete information, and nothing about how tires are sold has changed since then. In 2012, a wrongful death lawsuit in California went to trial over exactly this. A family was in an accident caused by tire failure. The tire had adequate tread depth, had been sold as a standard new tire. It was 7 years old. The court found in favor of the family. That lawsuit still didn't change the law. Tire age disclosure is not required in 2026. How to check your tires right now. The DOT code on the sidewall. The last 4 digits tell you everything. First 2 of those 4 digits are the week of manufacture. Last 2 are the year. A code ending in 1821 means the 18th week of 2021. A code ending in 3419 means the 34th week of 2019. That tire is pushing 7 years old right now. Go look at your tires today. Get down next to the car with your phone light. Find the DOT code. Sometimes the full code is only on one sidewall, so check both sides. 5 years old? Get the sidewalls checked annually by someone who knows what to look for. 8 years old? Replace them regardless of tread. 10 years? Those tires should not be on a car. What storage does to a spare set? If you run winter tires on a second set of wheels, you're storing your summer set for 5 or 6 months every year. Most people stack them in the garage and forget about them. Here's what's happening while you're forgetting. Electric motors produce ozone. Ozone attacks rubber aggressively. If you have a chest freezer, an air compressor, or any electric motor running near your tire stack, you're exposing them to elevated ozone every time that motor runs. Tire manufacturers specifically warn about this in their official storage guidelines, and most people have never read a word of it. Petroleum fumes do the same thing. A garage with gas cans nearby or any kind of oil leak on the floor is a bad environment for rubber storage. The right way, store unmounted tires upright, not stacked flat. Keep them away from motors and petroleum products. Coolest part of your space. If you have a climate-controlled basement, that genuinely beats any garage in a hot climate. Most people stack them flat in a hot corner next to the lawn equipment. 5 years of that and the tire is aged out before it ever goes back on the car. The tread depth conversation nobody has properly. The legal minimum in the US is 2/32 of an inch. Most mechanics say replace at 4/32. I think 4/32 is already too late. Tire Rack published stopping distance comparisons at different tread depths. A tire at 4/32 on wet pavement stopped 27% longer from 60 miles per hour than the same tire when new. At 2/32, the legal limit, that gap was 43% longer. A 43% increase in stopping distance on a wet road at highway speed is not a margin you want to be operating in. The legal limit tells you when a tire is illegal. It doesn't tell you when it's safe. Those two lines are not close to each other. The penny test everyone talks about checks for 2/32. Lincoln's head disappearing means you're at the legal minimum. You should have replaced them before it ever got to the penny. Use a quarter instead. Washington's head disappears at 4/32. If you can see all of his head, start shopping. The real answer. How long do tires last? Honestly, it depends on 4 things: tire quality, your climate, how you drive, and how you store them. A premium tire in a mild climate, driven conservatively and stored correctly, can reach 70,000 miles and still be structurally sound. A budget tire in Phoenix stored in a hot garage might be done in under 4 years. But none of that matters past 10 years. After 10 years, the tire comes off. That's the official position of Michelin, Continental, Bridgestone, and Goodyear, not an opinion. My uncle didn't know any of this. 24,000 miles on his truck, and he needed new tires because the rubber had aged out. He felt like he got taken. He didn't. He just had a gap in information that cost him $900. You don't have that gap anymore. Go check those DOT codes today.